I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll come a little bit further forward so you can see me, because the first bit is all about just the head and the arms. So it would probably be quite nice if that you could see me a little bit closer. And that makes it a little bit easier for everybody. So settling into your chair. And just finding the base of the spine into the base of the chair, the tops of the shoulders into the upper part of the chair, and just bring your elbows in slightly and have your hands either face down on your thighs or palms facing the ceiling in your lap. And we're trying to soften the shoulders, relaxing the upper back, and just release any tension that you might be holding in your hips as well. So try not to grip in the hips or the lower back. So again, we'll start with our breathing to start. So we're going to do some pranayama. So if you want to close your eyes, you can do at this point. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And then feel yourself soften into the chair. Once more, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and feel the shoulders drop, the thighs relax, and the lower back soften into the back of the chair. This time we're going to do some yogic breathing, so I want you to take your focus to your tummy. We're going to breathe in through the nose, fill the tummy with air, expand it like a balloon. And then as we breathe out, feel the tummy contract and the tummy flatten and the air come out of the mouth. Take your focus now to your rib cage. Breathe in and then fill the ribs with air, expanding the rib cage sideways. Feel the ribs push against the back of the chair and feel the ribs expand in front of you. As you exhale through the mouth, feel the rib cage contract and soften. And then take your focus to the top of the chest, the top of the lungs that we usually use for breathing. It'll be quite a shallow breath, so breathing in through the nose, feel the chest lift towards the jaw. Exhale, feel the chest lower and soften. And then bring your breath back to a normal breathing. And then if you want to, you can blink your eyes open at this point. And we're going to bring our chin towards our chest and just allow the head to fall forward. Feel a stretch down the back of the neck. And then we'll take a no action with the chin across the top of the chest. So we're taking the chin from side to side, right to left. Easing out stiffness at the top of the neck, the top of the chest, and the upper back. Bring the chin back to the centre of the chest and lift the head up. And we'll take our gaze over to the right hand side. So taking the gaze to the right wall or the right side of the room, bring the gaze forward and then take the gaze over towards the left. We'll do that once more. Bring it back to centre. This time take the gaze over towards the right, but then take it a little bit further than the right, so a little bit behind you. Bring it back to centre, take the gaze to the left, bring it a little bit further back to the left, and then back to the centre. Bring our right ear to our right shoulder. So just feel the right ear drop over to the shoulder and feel the stretch. Bring the head back up and then left ear to left shoulder. And then bring it back up. And this time you're going to take the right ear to right shoulder. Take the right hand onto the side of the chair, holding on. Then lift the left arm up, out to the side, just parallel with the floor, maybe a bit lower. And we're just going to take a slight lean so we feel a little bit extra stretch down the left hand side of the neck. Lower the left arm, bring the body upright, and then bring the head upright. And we'll do that on the other side. So take the left ear to left shoulder, lower the left hand, hold on to the chair or the side of the chair. Take the right arm out, either parallel with the floor, and then take a slight lean over towards the left hand side, feeling an extra stretch, and it should be feeling it in a deep muscle down the side of the neck and across. And then lowering the right arm, bringing the body upright and lifting the head. We're going to find a mountain chair pose. So just sitting up nice and straight and tall, feel those sit bones, and you might want to just kind of have a little shuffle. And I want us to take our right hand, and we're going to take the back of the hand and place it just gently at the base. So it doesn't have to be all the way through for now. It can just be here because it's a beginning of a warm-up. And I want us to open the elbow out and away, feeling the chest open across the front. And then just gently bring the elbow back in line with the shoulders. We're going to lean the head over towards the left hand side. So again, left ear to left shoulder. And feel that extra stretch. Now if you want an increased stretch, just open that elbow back as we did before, feeling the chest open, feeling the neck open, opening the chest into a kind of, it's in yoga, this is kind of like a bind. Release the arm away from you, place the hand on the knee, and gently lift the head back up to upright position. And we'll do that just on the left hand side. So take the left hand, place the back of the left hand behind you, doesn't have to be all the way for now. Test that arm out and draw the elbow back towards the back of the chair, feeling that stretch across the front of the chest. Bring the elbow in line with the shoulders and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, feeling the stretch down the left hand side. And then if you want to increase that stretch, gently draw that elbow back, and again feeling the stretch down the neck, and particularly in this bit just here. Release the hand from behind you and then gently draw the head back up to a neutral position. We're going to do that again. So take the right hand at the base of the back, drop the left ear to the left shoulder, feel the stretch. And this time I want you to take your chin over towards the chest. So drop the chin towards the chest. We should be feeling a stretch again in the upper shoulders. Lift the chin up so the face is forward, and then repeat that again, dropping the chin towards the chest, lifting up, chin to chest, lifting up. And then release the hand and then bring the head back upright, and we'll do that on the other side. So right ear to right shoulder, oh sorry, no, left hand behind. Right ear to right shoulder, and then chin to chest. So drop the chin to the chest and feel the stretch. Back upright, so bring the gaze forward. Again, chin to chest. Back upright. Chin to chest last time. And then back upright. Release the hand and lift the head upright. So now we're sitting in our nice chair mountain pose. We're going to do a few cow-cat stretches. So this particularly really kind of stretches out that triangular bit at the sacroiliac and then thoracic position just here. So sitting nice and straight and tall, I want us to tip the pelvis forward as we breathe in. So breathing in, tip the pelvis forward, feel the back arch, draw the elbows back, and take the chest up towards the ceiling if we can, as high as we can. Exhale, and I'm going to tuck the pelvis under. Take your focus to that lower part of the back and see if we can stretch and reach. Now drop the chin a little bit further than you anticipate. So rather than the gaze being on the thighs, take the chin in towards the chest and feel the stretch down the spine, reaching towards that triangular bit. We'll come back into cow, so breathing in, taking our gaze up, arching the spine, feeling the spine stretch. Exhale, draw those hands down the thighs, round the shoulders, and for that little bit extra, tuck the chin in and feel the stretch down the back of the spine. 2 more with a bit more flow, so breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, breathing out, sliding the hands forward and reaching forward, tucking in the chin. Breathing in, lifting up and breathing out. And tucking the chin in, feeling that spinal stretch. And then come back into a nice neutral seated position with feeling the shoulders nicely in line with the hips. I'm going to come slightly more forward on my chair because we're going to do something behind our back. So as I had my hand, the back of my hand is going to come towards my hip. And this is about opening the shoulders out and trying not to have a shoulder freeze or anything. So we're trying to get a little bit more mobility within the shoulders. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my hand across the base of the back as far as I can, and then slide it back towards the right hip. Slide it towards the left hip behind you, and then slide it back towards the right hip. Slide it again behind you towards the back of the hip and slide it back. So we're opening the chest. This time take it towards the left hip and see how far you can reach behind for a chest open. And again, we're trying not to curve the shoulders, but opening the shoulders out. And then release the arm and give that little hand a bit of a shake. Let's take the left hand, place it the back of the hand at the left hip, and then I'm going to slide my hand the base of the spine over towards the right hip, sliding it back again, and then sliding towards the right, back to the left, and then slide towards the right, and then bringing it back upright. And then coming back out. Give that arm a little bit of a shake. So we're going to, again, focusing on the chest and opening out the chest and the shoulders. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to place it onto my right shoulder just here. I'm going to come into cow face pose. So if you know what that is, that's absolutely fine and you can do that. If you don't, we're going to lift that elbow up towards the sky. And I'm going to reach my hand. If I've got more facility, I'm going to take my right hand and it's going to go in between the shoulder blades just here. And reach that nice and high. Holding that. Now, if we need to hold it up, that's fine. If we don't, we can take the left hand and place it behind our back. So we're opening the chest out as far as we can. So this is a shoulder and back stretch. And then release the hands, that's quite intense, and give the shoulders a shake and a little bit of a shimmy out. Let's do that on the left side. So starting with the hand at the shoulder, lift the elbow up with the hand and see if you can get the elbow up today. If we can reach the left hand in between the shoulder blades, and we'll reach that elbow up, releasing the right hand and hold. Then we're just taking the left hand and we're going to take it behind us at the base of the spine for now. Open the elbows out and feel the stretch across the shoulders and the top of the chest. And you can also do this with a strap. So if you had a strap, you could drop the strap down from the left hand and hold it with the right, and that opens the back out. Then release both hands and then bring those shoulders into plank. Give them a little bit of a shake. So I'm going to take my focus now towards my hands. And I'm going to come into prayer position just here. So this is our Namaste, our prayer position. And normally we're dropping our shoulders here. I'm starting to engage the chest muscles. So I'm going to push the palms of the hands together, particularly the heels of the hands. And I'm going to push the heels of the hands and lift the elbows up nice and high. So I'm stretching the wrists, I'm stretching the fingers. And keeping the elbows up nice and high, I'm going to turn my fingers down, pointing downwards, reaching my fingers down towards the floor, and that's a really strong wrist stretch. Let's bring the fingers back up to the ceiling, and once more, bringing the fingers down towards the floor, feeling the wrist stretch and the forearm stretch. And then bring the hands back up again. And we're going to push our hands. I'm going to push with my left hand, so both hands go over towards the right, having a push. I can feel that in my shoulders, and I'm going to take my gaze over towards the left, so looking over the left shoulder. So I've got a two-way stretch here with my gaze over my left and my hands pushing over towards the right, and I should be feeling that stretch. Bring your gaze back to center, and then bring those hands back into a neutral position. Interlace the fingers, and I'm going to draw my palms of the hands towards the outside, pushing my hands out and away and having a stretch of the forearms. If we can, lifting the arms up with the in-breath, nice and high, as much as we can, drawing those shoulders down. So again, thinking about those shoulder blades, lowering the hands, bring the hands back to the chest, and then bringing them back up to our prayer position. Again, lifting those elbows up nice and high, pushing the heels of the hands together. We'll do that again, but we're going to do it all on the left side. So I've got my elbows in line with my wrists and pushing the heels of the hands and the palms together, so I'm activating my chest muscles. And I'm going to draw my fingertips down towards the floor, rotating my hands at the wrist for a good nice forearm stretch. And then I'm lifting my arms back up again, hands back up again. And then we'll do that once more. Oh, feeling that stretch in the forearms. And then lifting back up again. I'm going to push my right hand over towards the left, feeling my hands go stretch towards the left, and I'm going to resist my heels of my hands parting. I'm going to take my gaze over towards my right side, feeling that stretch across the upper chest. Breathe in and bring the gaze back to neutral. Bring the hands back in front of you, and then interlace the fingers. Push the palms of the hands outward, pushing them away, feeling the arms stretch out in front of you, and then lifting the arms nice and high for a good stretch. Again, opening the chest. We're using all our core muscles as well because we're sitting up nice and straight and tall. And then lowering the hands down, bringing the hands in, and then we'll come up to hands into the lap. And then give the arms a little bit of a shake. I'm going to do my hips are going to be slightly wide, so I'm just going to open my hips nice and wide now at this point. So I'm just opening the legs, so not so wide that you kind of like a little bit uncomfortable, maybe just wider than the chair legs, so that you have a little bit of a wider base to start with. We're not working on the legs yet, but we're just giving ourselves a bit of a wider base to sit. And so I'm going to do cow-cat in this position, so my legs are slightly wider. I'm going to breathe in and feel my pelvis tip forward, arching my spine, and we should have more facility in this position because we've got our hips a little bit wider. Gaze goes towards the ceiling. I'm keeping my elbows tucked in. And then exhale, I'm going to draw my hands towards my knees, curving my spine, and my gaze is going to go down to the ground in between my legs. Tuck the chin in, and we should feel that stretch a little bit differently this time. Once more, inhale into cow position and arching the spine. You can never do too many cow cats, is my opinion. And then drawing the belly button in, tipping the pelvis forward, so tucking the pelvis under, taking the gaze forward, tucking the chin in, so really stretching that spine. And then coming back up to an upright position. I'm going to have my hands beside me. I'm going to bring my hands parallel with the ground, and I'm going to have an imaginary ball that I'm going to bring in front of me. So I'm going to breathe in, and as I breathe out, I'm going to take my ball and just do a nice big ball shaped position just here. So really create a big ball in front of you. And then open out nice and wide and take those hands and arms slightly behind you so you open the chest out. Again, breathing exhaling, and a big ball in front of you. Inhale, and then slightly out and open the chest, and then come back again, and then lower the hands. Now I'm just going to tip my screen forward slightly so you can see my legs a little bit further. There we go. So I'm going to focus on the waist a little bit here. So I'm going to take my elbow, and I'm going to place we've got these muscles that connect the hips just here, and they come from that bit of the back spine and they wrap around here, and then they go up to here. And if we're sitting straight just here, we're just doing this, and we're not actually stretching from side to side. So if we stretch to the side, we'll feel a little bit of a pull here, and those are the quadratus lumborum or QL muscles either side. So I'm just going to have a little stretch and reach. We'll do a couple of exercises to stretch those out. So we'll do our normal one that we normally do. So I'm going to take my left hand onto the chair, my right hand comes here, and I'm going to lift my arm up as far as I can. If it stays in line with my body, that's fine. If you can take it all the way over, take it all the way over. And we should be feeling that stretch down the hip area. Inhale, come back up, exhale and lower. Left side, inhale the arm up, exhale and stretch, lateral stretch to the side. Inhale and up, exhale and lower. And I'm going to do my rainbow arcing exercise that I normally do, but I'm going to add a little bit of a head position to stretch that area just there. So I'm going to take my right hand, it reaches across my body. Now stretch as far as you can and feel that stretch in this area just here. Really try and stretch and reach. We're going to inhale, and as we do so, I'm going to lift that arm up all the way over. Exhale, and I reach my hand back down and away. Keeping your hand there, take your head over to where you've just been in front of you and do a nod twice. Nod the head and feel the stretch. Then take your gaze back over to your hand, bring the hand back up and over, and this time the right hand's going to reach the left hand, and I'm going to tuck my chin in and have a stretch. So I've got both arms straight and I'm tucking my chin in for a good stretch across the back. Let's do that once more. Inhale, lifting the arm all the way up. Take the gaze back over towards the right shoulder. Bring the head forward, back where you've been. Nod your head twice. 1, 2. Take your gaze back over towards your hand. Lift that hand nice and high, all the way back over. Your right hand meets your left hand. Both of my arms are straight. And I'm going to curve my upper back, creating space, but at an angle. So I'm stretching and feeling a nice stretch down the side muscles. Great. And then bring yourself back up to a seated position. We'll do that on the other side. And just take a moment and feel how that side feels compared to this side. So you kind of like have a little recognition of what you've been doing. Take the left hand, stretch and reach it far across you. Feel that stretch in the hip. Breathe in, lift up. The arm goes all the way back and over. And then stretch and reach behind your left shoulder. Take your gaze over towards the right, back the way it came. Nod your head, 1, 2. Take your gaze back to your left hand. Bring the hand all the way up and over. Left hand meets right hand, straight arms. And this time we're going to curve the upper back, taking the chin towards our chest for an upper back stretch. Release that, straighten the spine, and again, opening the arm up and away, taking it behind us, reaching past. Take the gaze back the way you came, feeling the stretch across the top of the chest. Nod the head, 1, 2. Take your gaze back over to the hand, bring the hand forward, and then both arms straight, We're going to curve the spine as if we would in a cat position, drawing our belly button in, tucking our pelvis under, creating space, feeling that stretch, and then come back into a neutral position. Good. So keeping the knees nice and wide, slightly still, we're going to do what are called Sufi rolls. So we've been working in our cow-cat position by tipping the pelvis forward and then tucking the pelvis under. And we're going to do these with a little bit of a roll, and these are really great for the pelvic floor. So we'll just do it slowly to start with. So I'm going to find my 2 sit bones and lengthen my spine. I'm going to come into cow position, so tipping the pelvis forward, arching the back. And then I'm going to take my weight over onto my right sit bone and gently take it over there. So I've got most of my weight over on my sit bone. And then I'm going to tuck my pelvis under as I would in cat position. And then I'm going to take my weight over towards my left sit bone and then tip my pelvis forward back into cow. And then I'm going to go back the way I came, finding the left sit bone, tucking the pelvis under into cat, find the right sit bone, and then tipping the pelvis forward. Good. Let's find those 2 sit bones and sit neutral again and see how that feels. So you're making a connection between the things that you've done. So let's do that with a little bit more flow. So you start to circle your pelvis around and take your weight over your pelvis. So we're really trying to warm that lower back up. So tipping the pelvis forward, take the pelvis over towards the right, tuck the pelvis under, take the pelvis over towards the left, tipping the pelvis forward, back the way we came, towards the left, tuck the pelvis under, tip the pelvis towards the right, and tip the pelvis forward and back the way we came, towards the right, to the back. So I'm making a smoother action now, left and forward, to the right, the left and back and right, and tipping the pelvis forward. Now, then come back up to sitting and find that straightness again. So just feel that, how that is feeling now. We're going to take them a little bit deeper this time. So when I take my pelvis forward, I'm going to take my body forward, and then I'm really going to stretch and reach over to the side. Bring my body nice and over back, all the way over to the left, and then tipping my pelvis forward, back the way I came, over to the left, really exaggerating that spinal curve, over towards the right, and then coming forward. Let's do that once more. All the way over. If you have wider knees, that does help and facilitate these roll of the pelvis, and then forward, and then back the way we came, articulating the pelvis and easing out any stiffness in that hip and lower back. And then find that seated neutral chair mountain pose. So just again, bring those legs in and see how that feels now. Find those 2 sit bones, tuck the belly button in, and again, see if you feel a little bit looser in the lower back area just there. So we're going to work on these side muscles again. So I'm going to take my hand towards my shoulder and I'm going to open my elbow out. My left hand is going to go towards the chair, and I'm going to do a little bit of a bend crease. So I'm going to find these QL muscles just here. So I'm creasing by bending and bringing my elbow towards my hip. I should feel that crease. And then I'm opening the muscles, and then I'm tipping over by stretching my elbow up towards the sky as much as I can. Feel that stretch. You should be feeling that, particularly where the muscles attach towards the hip, just there. Bring the body upright, and this time we're going to crease again. Crease, so contracting the muscles at the side, bringing the body upright, and this time see if you can open the hand and stretch and reach out towards the side. Bring the hand towards the shoulder, and we're going to do another crease. So creasing down, elbow to hip, and then this time, if you can, bring the hand all the way over, take the left hand onto the side of the chair, and have a stretch and reach. And we should be feeling that down that hip. Bring the body upright and then lower the hand, and we'll do that on the other side. So take the left hand towards the elbow, open the elbow out to the side. We're going to crease that elbow, waist and those muscles by taking the left elbow to the left hip. Feel the crease. And then take the right hand onto the side of the chair so that you can lean over towards the right, lifting the elbow up, feeling that stretch. Again, coming to a crease, creasing over, and then lifting up, and maybe opening the arm out to the side if you can. If you can't, just keep the hand at the shoulder. Bring the hand back to the shoulder, and we're going to crease. And then this way, all the way up and over. See if we can get our hand over the head for a full side lateral stretch. And then bringing your body upright and then coming down. Excellent work. And we're still in chair mountain pose. So most of the time I want us to think about our posture. So when we're slumping, we tip our pelvis forward. So everybody just have a little bit of a slump. So say you're slumping into the chair and you've got rounded shoulders, your posture's not very good, you can feel your pelvis loosen and tuck under, and actually that's not very healthy. It doesn't give us the movement in our arms that we need. So I'll just want to show an example. For example, so we might take our arm upright, but we might, in a slumped position, I can only get my hand up to here because I've not got the facility in this position just here. As soon as I sit upright with my pelvis firmly in the chair, lengthening the arm, suddenly I can get my hand a little bit higher. So just do that as a little example for yourself. Really slump into the chair. Find that slumpy, stoopy position that you probably do in TV. Take the arm to the side and see how far you can lift it. Good. Lower the hand. Now sit up, find those two sit bones that we've been working on, loosen the back, lift the shoulders, gauge the core muscles. Now bring the hand upright and see how far we can take it. Yes, 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 yes. Brilliant. Lovely. And then lower. Well done. And again, let's take that stoop and we'll do the other side. So slump into the chair. Feel that not very great position posture wise, with arm up, see how far you can take it. I can probably take it to here. I feel trapped though here, and closed in on the chest. And then sitting up nice and upright, finding those two sit bones, lengthening out the waist, dropping the shoulders into the spine. Now lift the arm up and see how far we can take it. Very nice. And lower. Good. So again, if we want more facility, reaching for things, lengthen that spine. Let's do this moving forward as well. So slump back into the chair, find that slumpy position. Try and lift the arm forward above you. See how far you can get it. Good. And then lower the hand down. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Find your shoulders into the back. Lift the hand up and see how far we can take it. Excellent. Posture is really important to give us the facility we need in the shoulders. Now do that on the other side. Slump into the chair. Find that slump. Lift the hand. See how far we can take it. We're using the wrong muscle groups to lift the arm. We might actually pull a muscle at this point. So find that nice straight spine, lifting up out of the chair. And then use the breath to lift the arm nice and high. Excellent work, guys. All of those arms are nice and high. And then over. Superb work. So again, finding those positions. So now we're seated up nice and high. I want us to think about our muscles at the side. So I'm going to just open the chest a little bit higher. So I'm going to bring my hands up towards my ears, and my elbows are in line with my shoulders. And I'm going to open my chest by drawing my hands back and my gaze goes up. So we're doing a little cactus position and my gaze goes up. So I'm really opening the chest. And then this time I'm going to keep my spine upright. I'm not curving it forward, but I'm bringing my elbows together. and my palms. And we've done this before, so bring the elbows together as well and draw those elbows and hold the hands nice and tight. So we're squeezing the chest muscles. And then once more, open the hands, take them further behind you and to arch the back and take the gaze up. And then bringing the elbows forward. Elbows meet each other, palms facing. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then lower the hands and back down again. So we'll just do a couple of core things to start. So I'm going to move my chair back so that we can all see. I'm going to use my legs at this point as well. So you can see my feet. Should be feeling a bit looser. So I'm sitting at the front of my chair and I'm going to lift my right arm up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to lift my left leg up towards the ceiling. And I'm just going to hold that for a minute. So use your core muscles to hold you. Draw the belly button in. I'm flexing the foot, stretching down the back of the leg. Lower the arm, lower the leg. And then we're going to do the other side. So lifting the left arm up, lift the left foot up, stretch down the back of the leg. Draw that belly button in using the core. And then lowering down. Once more. Right arm, left leg. And lower. And I'm not relaxing back in the chair. I'm using those core muscles to sit nice and straight and tall. And lower. Now both arms and legs together. Might have to sit a little bit further back. Lifting both arms and legs together. See how we're doing. Are we curving our lower back? Are we collapsing a little bit? Can we sit a little bit further and higher into those sit bones? Excellent. And then lower down. And we're again using the core muscles to do that. Breathe in, lift both arms and legs up. Holding, holding, holding. Use those core muscles and then lower down. And we'll just work with our feet before coming to stand. So lifting the foot, right foot up. We're going to flex and point, just working those toes and working those feet before we do our balances. And then circle the foot at the ankle one way and the other way. And then lower. And then lifting the left foot up and we're flexing and pointing. I can hear lots of nice clicks going on there today. Mine quite badly actually. There we go. And then rotating the foot at the ankle. One way and the other way. Good. And then we'll just do our chair pose to standing. So coming to the front of the chair, make sure our feet are planted nice and firmly, knees in line with our feet, hips and knees in line with our hips as well. And we've got our feet knees directly over our feet, so we come up to a nice safe standing. So we're going to do 5 lifts out of the chair pose, and on the 6th one we hover. So we're going to sit up and down 5 times. And then 6th one, we hover and we're going to stay there for 5 breaths. And this is about engaging our core muscles and giving us a little bit of warmth. We want to be able to get out of the chair and we want to be able to use those muscles to be able to do that. So breathe in and on the out breath, sitting up and either having your hands up at the hips or in front of you. And then lowering back down again, finding the chair seat with the hands. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out, find the chair and sit down. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out, find the chair and sit down. 2 more. Breathe in and lift. Find a chair and sit down. Last time. Breathe in and lift. Find the chair. And now it's our hover. So breathing in. Lift, either have your hands at the hips in front, in parallel with the floor or beside the ears for our chair pose. Again, bending those knees. If you want to make it more difficult, drop the hips so that we're hovering a little bit further. Draw the belly button in towards you, engage the core muscles and wrap those core muscles around you. We're going to stay here. Keep breathing and breath in and out, in and out. And on the next out breath, we're going to stretch and straighten those legs and come up to our mountain pose standing. And then take a little bit of a wiggle, hips to hips, and we're going to come up to our balances. So I'm going to come side to side for you, so as long as you can all see me. So I've got my chair here, and we're going to come into downward dog position first. And we're going to do a couple of things. We've done downward dog before, but I'm going to add a couple of things that will help you ease out the bit that's the triangular bit just here, okay, that sometimes gets stiff when we're not as active as we have been in the past. So we'll come to our downward dog. So I'm going to step my right foot back and my left foot in, until I've got my hands on the back of the chair, stepping out gently until I feel comfortable. And I am trying to open the arms. The arms are hands are in line with the shoulders, and I'm opening the chest out. We've done a lot of chest opening work today. And then this time we're going to do what's called walk the dog. So I'm going to just step with my feet, one step and the other foot. But I'm not bringing them up, I'm just lifting the heels up and dropping the hips. So I'm moving my weight from one, padding the feet, just lifting the heels up, but padding the feet and feeling the lower back. And I can also move my hips from side to side, feeling a little bit of easiness and stepping. So I'm stepping and pretendy stepping, I would call it. And we should feel that lower back move. If we move our hips a little bit, we should feel the lower back ease out and feel the lower back move, so it's not such a static stretch. Excellent. Come to both stillness, and we'll walk our feet forward to standing. So walk the feet slowly forward, holding onto the back of the chair, making sure you've got your balance, and then coming up to standing. Excellent. And now we're going to do cow-cat, but we're going to do it standing. So for cow, I'm going to bring my feet parallel. They're slightly wider than parallel actually, so my knees are over slightly wider. And I'm going to tip my pelvis forward, but bend my knees. So I'm sticking my bum out. And I'm going to draw my elbows back. So I'm taking my elbows back and taking my gaze out. And I'm arching my spine. So this is cow in standing. And then exhale, tuck my pelvis under, round my spine, round my shoulders, and take my gaze over and forward. So I should be feeling in a rounded position here. Let's do that once more. Cow position, so tip the pelvis forward, arch the spine, chest lifts and gaze lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, round the spine, draw the belly button in, round the shoulders. And my knees are slightly bent, reflecting what my back's doing. And then come back up to standing, and let's find a neutral position. So we've been doing a lot of forward and back, haven't we, with the pelvis? Let's see if we can use that and have a neutral spine pelvis that helps us with our balance. So find the parallel feet, lift up at the front. I'm not tucking the pelvis under, but I am engaging the pelvis, the muscles around the pelvis, around this area just here. And we're going to do a gentle rise. So just squeeze the inner thighs together, find those, in the same way that we were sitting, finding those two sit bones, lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders down into the back so we're nice and long, and then take the weight over the feet and lift the heels nice and high and feel those calves working, and we're having a nice little lift. Test your balance, so maybe take one hand off and the other hand off, or one hand if you can, feeling that nice lengthen and stretch. Place the hands back on the chair, lower the heels down, and then bend the knees and have a stretch. Good. So this time we're going to do what we did rock and roll, but we're going to slightly take our gaze upwards. So normally with our rock and roll, I take my right hand beside my leg, and as I take my weight over my balls of my feet, I lift my hand up. This time I'm going to take my gaze up, and I'm just going to gently take my gaze up. Now it's really difficult if you can. And then bring the gaze forward with the hand as it lowers. And then I'm rocking back onto my heels and gently rounding my upper back. I'm going to do that once more. I'm rocking onto the balls of my feet. My weight goes over the balls of my feet, Pushing into the balls of the feet, my hand lifts nice and high. I'm going to take my gaze up, so I've got a high arch, and then exhale, I'm coming back down. And then I'm rocking back into my heels and my feet rounding the top of my back slightly. I'm going to do that on the other side. So place my right hand onto the back of the chair, lower my left hand. Inhale, my weight tips over the balls of my feet. I'm rising, pushing into those balls, lifting myself up. And then when I've got myself centered, I lift my chest up as I can, trying to maintain my balance. Exhale, my hand lowers, and I find the floor, but rock forward, back into the heels, and my toes lift off, slight curve of the spine in the upper back. Inhale once more, lifting up. Exhale, and rocking back. And then come back to a neutral position. And we're going to come now to our high crescent lunge that we've been working on. So I'm going to take my right foot back, stepping it back, and the heel is off the back at the back here. So I've got my right heel off the back. I'm going to bend my front standing leg so that my knee maintains over my feet, and I'm dropping my hips nice and low, so I'm maintaining that nice steady balance. I'm going to stay here, and I'm lifting one hand off, and it comes out in front of me. If I can lift the other hand off, brilliant. If not, that's fine. If you've got both hands and you want to make it more difficult, lift both hands up towards the ceiling, or one hand towards the ceiling if you can. And while holding that, these are really great, strong thigh muscle exercises. Lower the hands. And then this time I'm going to take my right arm and take my move it out towards the side, over, and my gaze goes over towards my right leg. Working really hard in this twist. And then bring it back again. Hold the chair, get your balance, and step that leg in. Good. And then just have a little bit of a wiggle with the hips, easing out. And then take the left leg back. So we're coming back, stepping it back into a lunge. My heel is off at the back, making sure that my knee is over my foot, and I've got a nice square, stable joints. And then breathing and bending the front standing leg, bending the left leg so my hips are dropping down nice and straight. My weight is taken into my thighs. And then lifting the left hand off if I can. If you can do both hands, lift both hands off. Breathe in, lifting both hands up, or one hand up towards the sky if you can, finding that stability and strength. Exhale. Lower down, take both hands onto the back of the chair. This time the left hand lifts, opens out towards the side, and you take your gaze back towards the left foot, and the arm opens out with you. Bring the arm back, and then taking hold of the chair, stepping that foot back in, nice and straight. Well done. We're going to do one last, and this is our balancing stretch before we come through our guided relaxation. So we're not doing tree today because we've been working on those quite a lot, but I'm going to do a slightly different pose. So I'm going to take my weight onto the back of the chair. I'm slightly taking my weight over towards my left leg, releasing my right leg off, and I'm going to lift my right leg back and away, lengthening away. So I'm lifting it behind me, so I'm taking that weight and lifting back, taking my weight into the chair if I can. It might just come to the back on the floor, and that's absolutely fine, but if we can take it and lift. Now if you want to extend that, lift that other arm, the opposite arm, so left arm, right leg, and feel that balance, lengthening, make a connection between the hand and the foot, and then lowering the hand towards the back of the chair, and then lowering the foot down. We're going to bend both knees and curve the back a little bit, because that's a little bit of a, it works this bit of the muscle of the back. So it's slightly bending, it's slightly arching the back. So I'm going to do that on the other side, take my weight over towards my right leg, stretch and reach my left leg out behind me. The toe might be on the floor, or I'm lifting it up off the floor using the front hip flexor and my backs and my hamstrings. I'm then lifting my right arm off, and I'm going to stretch and reach so I've got a balance on my standing leg. Good. Lovely. And then bringing that hand back to the chair, lowering the foot down, finding both feet, and come up to a standing position. And then bend both knees and just give your hips a little bit of a ski and ease out any stiffness that you might be having in the lower back. Well done. We're going to do, that's quite an intense back stretch, so we're going to do one more downward dog with our padding of the feet to ease that out. So stepping back, and then opening the arms slightly wide, feeling the stretch in the lower back and the upper back, and then bending the knee and padding the feet slightly, taking the hips side to side so that actually you can feel the stretch in the lower back. So you should be feeling that those lower back muscles now stretching and easing out. So when we take our leg backwards, we're contracting those back muscles, and what we're trying to do is do a counter pose to that, an opposite, by lengthening them. And yoga is a bit like that. That's the yin and the yang. You contract and then you stretch. Come to a stillness, and we'll just walk forward, and then we'll come and finish with our little stretches before we do our nice guided relaxation for you. I'm just going to open. There we go. So making sure that you can see my legs. Yes. So we'll just do a nice stretch for the left leg. So I'm sitting forward on the chair, lengthening the left leg out and away. Good. And I'm going to stretch and reach. So it's our normal stretches. So leading with the chest, bending at the hips and allowing our chest to fall forward towards our thigh, feeling that stretch down the back of the leg. And again, we'll should feel that in the lower back as well. And then bringing the body upright, stepping that right foot in, step the left foot out, lengthen up, and then dropping the chest forward for a nice stretch. So all of the fascia muscles are all connected, so the back of the leg connects with the lower back that moves up through the spine and reaches the neck. And then lifting the body upright, and then stepping that leg back in again. And then this time we're going to take our right hand and it's going to go over towards our left shoulder for a bit of a shoulder stretch, drawing that left elbow up and feel a nice stretch. And then lowering the hand and then taking the left hand over to the right shoulder, taking the elbow with the right hand and drawing that elbow up and away, across the chest. And then bringing both hands towards the back of the neck. Just want you to gently give the back of where the spine meets the head, but not on the spine itself, just those muscles at the back of the neck, a little bit of a rub. Open those necks out. So if you do a figure of 8 with your head, you should feel that the axial joint just moving just here. And just give those a little bit of a rub. Move the head in a loose position and feel it, loosen any stiffness there. And then take the hands behind your head. And we'll do one last stretch, opening the shoulders out and opening the elbows out. And then take the neck and place, your hands are in the back of the head. You're going to push the neck slightly into the backs of the hands, and the backs of the hands are going to push the neck. This is a neck stretch and a really good neck strengthener. So you've got a two-way stretch with the hands pushing the back of the head, but the back of the head pushing the hands. And then release those and we'll come into our guided relaxation for today. So well done, guys. So sitting back into the chair, finding a kind of neutral position again, and making sure that you're feeling comfortable. I'm going to place my hands into my lap. And then if you want to, you can close your eyes, but if not, you can keep them open, or maybe just lower your chin to your chest if you want. And I want us to breathe in through the nose as we did at the beginning, out through the mouth, and then feel the shoulders soften into the chair. Once more, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then feel the hips relax into the base of the chair this time. Again, inhale through the nose. Take your focus to your arms and your feet and your hands. And then on the out breath, feel the arms heavy into the thighs and the feet falling into the floor. And then starting with the top of the head, doing a quick body check. Feel the relaxed feeling travelling from the forehead, over the tops of the eyes, finding the cheekbones in the jaw. Allow that relaxed feeling to travel through the neck, the tops of the shoulders, down the spine, and again into that base of the back, that triangular area that we've been working on today. See if you can relax it and soften it into the back of the chair. Feel the relaxed feeling travel down the thighs, to the knees, the calves. Feel the hands heavy into the lap and the feet heavy onto the floor. Enjoy a relaxed feeling after today's class. So very gently bring your awareness back into your own body. Take some deeper breaths and send some energy to your fingers, your toes, the arms, the legs. Keep breathing and taking deeper breaths, enliven the limbs a little bit further. Give them a wiggle, a stretch. Stretch out in front of you. Maybe take the arms above your head and then open out. And then ease out. And then we'll come to a seated position and we'll finish with Namaste to end with. So bringing the hands together. Thank you for coming to do my class today, and it was lovely. And apologies for the issues to do with sound. I think we got it sorted in the end. So thank you very much, and Namaste, and have a good rest of the day.